Hey, it is Diana Mayfield here, B2B website copywriter, and today I want to show you a recent project, which is the Zirtual website. So we are looking at a before from Wayback Machine, and we see it says work-life balanced, virtual assistants for entrepreneurs, professionals, and small teams. So definitely not a terrible headline. They're using a great structure, which a lot of people fail to use, which is being creative here and being really informative here. However, there's not enough differentiation from other options for virtual assistants, and there's also not a lot of emotion there because it's just feeling a bit generic, like, work-life balance, like, there's a lot of opinions on that. Is that even possible? It doesn't really like hit you in the gut very well. I guess for some reason, Wayback Machine, this illustration is missing, but then we go straight into the different tasks that a virtual assistant can do, and talks about streamlining your success and your work and your life. Some call them superhumans, we call them VAs. Give us your to-do list and get on with your love to-do list. So definitely, like I said, not bad, not the worst website I've seen by far, but it's not putting the differentiation of the company front and center enough. And it's also not making it emotional enough and really making you feel like you're going to get a lot of help here. So let's see the new page that I did. So do work that matters, take more breaks. So these lines come straight from customer surveys and customer interviews because that's what people really want. And that's like what they were saying the most. When we looked at the surveys, that was the common trends. So do work that matters. It's like actually do what they're meant to do and then take more breaks. So that could mean like take a vacation, that can mean take vacations, whatever. I say take vacations twice. I meant to say take a weekend and then vacation. I don't know what I actually said, but that's what I meant. Weekends and vacations. So that's putting a little bit of emotion in that, still using that same structure, which I recommend most websites use, which is being a bit creative here and then being more explanatory here. And then here we are being more explanatory in terms of showing the differentiation. So US-based, college-educated, and ready to work from day one, and they're better at the things that you don't even like doing. So we get a little bit of the emotion in there as well, and then also showcase the differentiation. And that comes from competitor research in addition to customer research. And a lot of people will poo-poo long copy, but just know that, it can be done right. And like these words are going to kind of flow into, people's heads, and don't be afraid of like long copy in Heroes, because that's the way you can get, what you need to get in there without, requiring people to scroll to get it. Because if you don't put enough, then people may not scroll. And this is like a StoryBrand thing, which I love to do, which is putting the outcomes like above the fold. So like if you don't even scroll, you see these outcomes that you get. You're going to get back hours of time each week. You're going to outsource to someone you trust, and you're going to compound time savings into success. So this is like a kind of qualification thing, like, do you need an awesome virtual assistant? And then we go into the the main services that they offer. So just to kind of get clarity on what is being offered here. And then the differentiation, and that is not just the college educated US based, but also the fact that they are, trained and experienced. And another one, which is that you get a dedicated assistant and also extra support because they're backed up by other assistants that you can tap into if needed. And then we also put more specific differentiation here, which is 2-hour response time. So that's an amazing thing that the customers really love. And that, it's month to month. There's not like any contracts. You can cancel as needed, top-notch quality, and then organized and secure. So, these are virtual assistants that know what they're doing, and they know how to securely access your information. So those are highly specific details and differentiation things that were completely missing before. And then a great, testimonial that came from the new customer research surveys where, this customer was talking about a specific assistant. So that was something that really wasn't there before, where it was like getting a bit more personal and emotional. And then we have the outcomes. So you're going to go from you're too busy to you're allocating time, not enough hands, to an optimized team. So a lot of times people forget, like, that you don't have to just put pain at the beginning of the page. It doesn't have to just go like problem solution. Like, you can put the solution earlier on so it's more clear, so people know what you're talking about. And then you can go into pain points a little bit lower down, so that after they understand the solution, then they're hooked into like, oh, this is me and I need this. And then another thing that people miss out a lot on is process. So like, what is the process to actually become a customer of yours? Like, what does it look like? So talk to us, get expertly matched, meet your virtual assistant during the delegation strategy kickoff call with your account manager, experience results in just 1 week. So, and then lastly, put more time into what you do best, meet the virtual assistant who will support you. So really helping people like just kind of like walk them over the line and being not pushy, but just really going for it. Like, just meet the person who's going to help you out. Because right, if you're in this position and you need to hire a virtual assistant, like, you kind of need somebody to just tell you like just do this, so like that's how you can be like salesy, but in like a helpful way. So just being a bit more bold, right? Like, they already had somewhat bold copy, but just really kick it up a notch in terms of emotion, clarity, and differentiation, and then style. So we did lots of pages, but I want to show one more, which is the What We Do page. Okay, so for the What We Do page, they did have, the tasks, which are great because that gets you clarity, but they weren't hitting like, the emotional realm kind of as well as they could have been. And it also didn't prioritize what do people actually come for, right? So it's like, what do you do? So just showing everything, but it's not really showing like the top things. So on these kind of like, for SaaS, it's often like product pages. You really want to get more like, nitty gritty instead of just putting it all in one. That's really important on those sorts of pages because then you can kind of get people to see like what they need to do first. So it's more like a sales conversation, right? So it's like turning your website into, a sales rep that sells for you. Is they're going to sell the thing that the vast majority of people need help with, because, you can't, talk to each individual person and say, okay, what's the thing that they really need? So it's like you got to sell the things that most people need, right, on the website. So, okay, here's this headline: don't let the little stuff add up big. So, just kind of like a warning that's like a bit more emotional than just task management for work and life. Like, because again, if you're in this state where you need to hire somebody, you're like, oh, that's what I've been doing. I've been letting the little stuff add up and now I can't get anything, right? And then your virtual assistant is a certified chaos wrangler who helps you focus on what you do best. Then why are you hiring yourself to do email and data entry? It's a really good question. Like, why are you doing that? Like, because that's really what's happening. Like, you might not think that you're hiring yourself to do that, but if you're doing all of those things, that's what you're doing, So really, like, again, getting in their shoes of what is this person thinking when they're getting ready to hire someone. So then your productivity results depend on what you don't do. Get stuff off your plate, add trained hands, dedicated assistant you'll work with regularly, support from others for specialized tasks, 1 monthly fee based on number of hours. So then getting clear on how this works in terms of the structure. And then, like I was saying before, we want to sell and prioritize like the top things instead of like putting everything all together. Because on this page, if they're clicking on this page, that means they're getting closer, to thinking about signing up. We're getting closer to a sale on this page. So we want to like bump up that emotion, and then also prioritize the more common things that people need help with, which is inbox management and calendar management. And then get expert help in more ways. So then we take the other stuff that is less common and then need something else. So if you need something else, you can request a consultation. And kind of a little cheeky there, this is a really good move. 0 to hero in a week, pay for just the work, reap long-term rewards. So this is about, because employees can get kind of stuck in different things. So when you're paying your virtual assistant, you're just paying for the time that they're working. And so that was like something that came from customer research as well. And then again, putting the process out there is really important, and that's something that a lot of websites lack. It just helps them kind of feel comfortable and know like what are the next steps, like what do I do next. So that's also a StoryBrand thing, that the process should really come close to the bottom of the page, especially for anything service related or something, or SaaS products that have like a strong service component. So that is my walkthrough of the Zirtual website. Super, super fun project. Another thing that I did with this project was, helping them know what SEO key phrases need to be retained, because they have a lot of SEO traffic. So what I did was just check what they're already ranking for, and then make sure that any pages that we were going to keep, that I use those key phrases on those same pages. And then any pages that we decided, like the menu was too busy, we didn't want that anymore, then any of those pages that I just told them to like migrate them and have them, designed and moved over, even though I'm not going to write them. So we'll just move them over to the new site and retain them, so that you can just keep the the traffic, but we won't rewrite them and we won't put them in the menu. So that's another service I always include, or it's something I always include in my website copywriting service, which is just to check what you're already ranking for to make sure that I retain that. And this site is a great example of that, because they have a lot of amazing organic rankings. So thanks so much for watching.